I have to get stronger if I ever want to protect what's truly important to me.
I am Shinjitsu369, and this is going to be our hidden potential system video for LR Ultimate Gohan from Dragon Ball Super Superhero. In all of our hidden potential system videos, we go over a unit's full kit and break down where they get in and fit in around the game. After that, we'll go into their hidden potential system and discuss how best to build them out, right? To get the most out of the unit, how many additional attacks to invest, how much critical or how much evasion. After that, we're going to go into a battle and see how many times Gohan can get that hidden potential system to activate. Obviously, this unit is very much RNG. You know, if you haven't played with him yet, then we will discuss that. But we're going to see how many times he can get an additional attack, how many times he can perform a critical hit. Thank you for checking out the video. I'm very frustrated with Gohan and how he plays around Dokkan. You have to put Gohan in such a perfect situation in order for him to look how we would expect him to look. And in my opinion, putting a character in their best situation 100% of the time, especially if it's not the easiest thing to do, is not indicative of how good that unit actually is. But I'm not going to act like that Gohan's just trash. He's not. He's very good in Super Battle Road. He does a ton of damage, and especially for those first couple of turns out, if you can build up that super attack, he really will start to look very good. Let's just jump right into Gohan, what he's looking like. He does have a great leader skill. We have Superhero, or what I like to call the Heroes of Dragon Ball Super, or Hybrid Saiyans. Ki plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 170 with the additional 30% to bond of parent and child and movie heroes. So that's a really good category leader. You know, you can get all your Hybrid Saiyans essentially 200% except for just a couple here and there. And then you also do have, you know, all your Heroes of Dragon Ball Super on this team. So Trunks and Vegeta, Piccolos, any future Blue Gokus and Vegeta, in the future Ultra Ego Vegeta, all the future Ultra Instinct Gokus will all be on this category at 200%. So that is a W for Gohan at the very least, okay? We have to talk about that. His attack stat is ridiculous. Very high attack stat. His defense stat, I think they might as well have made it a little bit higher if they were going to take away his guard. But I'm getting ahead of myself, right? I'm sorry. This Gohan frustrates me. I'm going to put him in a good situation so y'all can get a good look at him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put a support memory and all that, but I shouldn't have to do all that, right? This is supposed to be Beast Gohan, but it's not. It's Least Gohan. It's Fraudhan. It's Clownhan. Get out of my face. You're not in this game. Don't show me this if you're not in the game. His 12 key super greatly raises attack for one turn and raises defense for one turn. So what that means is for one turn he gets a 50% attack raise on 12 key and then a 30% defense raise. I honestly would have preferred it the other way around like Piccolo. It just would have made more sense. I just want to kind of do Gohan first so we can get to the real sauce of this celebration, which is God Piccolo, Ultimate Piccolo. He's the man. But Gohan still does have a good leader skill that will age well at the very least. Now his 24 key super is the Super Kamehameha. He greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, and he also lowers the enemy's attack and defense. Also with Gohan's 12 key super, he can stun. So that's what I'm saying. This Gohan is very good for Super Battle Road at the very least. And he does raise attack and defense by 50% on the 18 key super. Now, this is where the controversy comes in. Not just the fact, you know, on the first surface level, you can't play with Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan is not yet playable in Dokkan as of January 1st, 2023. Okay? Still not playable in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Let's quickly talk about the man's kit, right? I'm just going to break this down. I don't need to read it. So, Gohan gets an entrance animation. You have to have another bond of parent and child ally on the team. And then you can get your entrance animation, which gives him 100% attack and defense for 3 turns and guard for 3 turns. In my opinion, what would have made this unit a lot better, they should have made it 5 turns. 5 is go. I thought they would incorporate more 5s in the unit, but they didn't. I don't understand why, but that would have been better. But for 3 turns, he gets attack and defense plus 100% and guard. Gohan gets attack and defense plus 150%, no key starting, just attack and defense plus 150%. Then he gets an additional 1 key per key sphere obtained, which is a powerful ability. But we're going to look at his links. Usually Gohan is always starting at 6 key. If you're lucky, he'll be starting at 8 or more if you, like I said, put him in a really good situation. But I digress. He gets an extra ki per ki sphere obtained. He performs an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack when ki is 20 or more. So for whatever reason, the devs at Dokkan decided to lock his super attacks behind the ki restriction. Let me tell you why this is important. Gohan gets 30% attack and defense with each super attack performed, up to 150%. If that was not a restricted attack, and Gohan could perform 4 attacks in one turn, that would be so much better than what it is now. You can maybe perform 3 attacks. You can get 1 attack, and if you are lucky enough to get the 20 ki super, then he has a 70% chance to make that a super attack. If he doesn't do that, then you can get the attack out of the hidden potential system. But the problem is Gohan needs to perform the supers to build. They should have made them just a little bit easier to get if you want me to build the Gohan up. It's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating because especially even just recording with him, trying to, show you guys some of his best situations, it takes a lot of runs. Like, he normally does not have ki. But whatever. That is how Gohan works. Now, Gohan also has some cool stuff about him. He does nullify Ki Blast supers. Has a 50% chance to nullify Ki Blast supers directed at him. And whenever his ki is 24 or performing the active skill, you're super effective on all types. So that is really good. He is super effective on all types. So that's 1.5 damage. Right, so like a crit is 2 times damage. So if you have like a 20 million attack stat, you do a crit, that's like basically 40 million, right? You have a 20 million attack stat, that's going to be basically 40 million. So whenever Gohan is at like 15 million, he's actually a lot higher than that, right? He's actually more like 20. So, and when he's at 20, he's even higher. So Gohan is really good at 24 ki if you can get him the 24 ki super. Okay? Gohan's pretty decent though. He also has this active skill whenever all characters on the rotation are heroes of Dragon Ball Super. From the 3rd turn, you can activate the Beast Gohan movie and Makanko Sapo. Or from the 6th turn, when there's one enemy, you can perform it. So at least that's not really difficult to get. That much I do appreciate. But it's these links that are the problem. What I need y'all to understand is he only has 1 ki link, and it's shocking speed. It's not prepared for battle. If it was prepared for battle, even though I kind of get why, because Gohan wasn't necessarily prepared for battle, I guess. But at the end of the film, he also said he had been training secretly. So he was prepared for battle, They might as well have given him prepared for battle. Then he could have at least linked up with a lot of other Gohans or the Saiyan lineage or something. 1 more ki link. I would gladly trade one of these other links for a ki link. It is so frustrating when you can't get the 20 ki super. You'll get 4 ki spheres with him and not get it. If he's at 6 ki, you can get 5 ki spheres with him and not get it. They should have just given him an extra 2 ki per ki sphere, given him 1 more ki link, or just 2 ki at the start of the turn. Whenever we get into the next video, we'll find with Piccolo, that's not so much a problem. Like, once he receives an attack, he gets an extra 2 ki. Gohan does not have anything like that. He doesn't build ki with super attacks. He's just stuck. He's just stuck, and you have to get luck. And that is effed up. So, alright. He's on a lot of categories, at the very least. Here's the Dragon Ball Super, Hybrid Saiyans, Bond of Parent and Child, Movie Heroes, Goku's Family, freaking everything. Siblings Bond, Bond of Master and Disciple. He's on Explosion of Anger, Warriors Raised on Earth. He's on Full Power, which I like very much. Transformation Boost, which is also nice. He's on Kamehameha, Connected Hope, Battle of Fate, and this is Miraculous Awakening. So he's on some good categories at the very least, categories that need the help. On Super Battle Road, if you pull this guy even at 55% and you're a newer player, he's going to do wonders for you. And if you are a newer player, you probably won't feel it the same way we do, like you won't understand it as much. But if you've been playing this game for anywhere between 2 years or more, 2 to 3 years or more, you will understand our frustrations with this unit. Like, if you're not going to give me Beast Gohan, then make this man at least good. But he's going to age out fairly quickly, in my opinion. I mean, it depends on how the 8th anniversary in 2023 goes. But I don't see him being just as good in a year from now. And that's very unfortunate for a unit that's supposed to be this hype. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get into his hidden potential system. Now, I built this unit out hyper offensively. I'm not saying you have to do that. This unit is... I'm not going to say he's not defensive, but his defense and offense is RNG. He's just RNG Han. He's RN Gohan, okay? RN Johan. That's who this man is. So, I can respect giving him additional and evasion because this unit is already super effective on all types when Ki is 24. But guess what? I've been using this unit. I know how difficult it is to get that. And you know what else irks me? Is that the active skill raises attack and does ultimate damage and nullifies the enemy action. It doesn't crit. It's super effective on all types, but it doesn't crit. It doesn't guarantee shit. So, because of that, I'm like, no, I want to see the Makanko Suppo crit. I need Gohan to crit because it's a lot more likely I'm going to get a 20 Ki super, 21, 22 Ki super. Most times, if I do have the Ki to get him the extra Ki, it may not even be a 24 Ki super. So I would like to see a crit, and I want to see crits on the Makanko Suppo. So, even though it's not guaranteed, I decided to build him out with a 40% chance to perform an additional attack. That way I really boost my chance. Got to give him all this additional because sometimes he'll do that additional attack that has a 70% chance and it doesn't pop off. It's very frustrating. So I want to have the chance to at least get that extra one out of the potential system, build him up as quickly as possible. Remember, this is his attack and defense building up. Now, I will say, and you'll see, you know, next to Pan, even after he's built up, next to Pan and STR, Carnival Z Fighter Goku, he's at like 650k defense raw before he attacks. That is really good. After an 18 Ki super, he's touching a million. If he can do one more, he's over a million. That is good. But like, he doesn't have guard, and getting hit by the hardest bosses in the game doing 1.5, 1.6, 1.8 million damage, he's still getting cooked. So, he's a frustrating guy. But at the very least, he has some cool animations. We have a Gohan in Dragon Ball Super, like a Gohan from Dragon Ball Super, and he has a good leader skill. I would suggest if you have this unit at 69%, if you're going to go with an evasion build and not a critical hit build, I highly suggest that you overload into additional super attack. I would say 25 would be the max I would go in additional super, so you have a 50% chance, and then give the rest in evasion if you want to do it that way, because Gohan doesn't gain anything from getting hit. One thing I do like about this Gohan though is he can nullify those super attacks. He has a 50% chance, so that is fun to see when he does it, and it does make that damage 0. So that is nice. If you get him at 69%, what you would do is give him these 3 additionals and then give him a 3 evasion here. You do have a bunch of equipment you can use too. We have, you know, the Dragon Ball or the Heroes of Dragon Ball Super category event that we can get the skill orbs. So I'm sure you guys will have a little bit of skill orbs you can use towards him no matter what level. I have this Gohan at 79%, allowing me to take advantage of his full hidden potential system. So I've decided once again to just overload as much as I can in additional, put the rest in crit, and then as you can see by his equipment, aka his equipment, I've just gone all critical hit. I have cared at all. Okay, all crit and attack. Since you're all attack Gohan, you just want to attack all the time, you don't want to defend, fine. Then whenever you attack, you need to kill. I don't want the enemy to live. If you don't want to defend and you barely want to get an additional, you want to make it really tough for me to get you all this Ki, I got to put you in a perfect situation, right? Then you better kill the enemy. Is how I feel about this Gohan, and that's kind of how I play with him. He does work decently as a floater, and it is nice on the, you know, all rotation of Heroes of Dragon Ball Super. That third turn, he can get that Makanko Suppo, which counts as a super attack. So like if you got 3 attacks the previous turn, you get to that third turn, do the Makanko Suppo, that's 4. You can perform that 5th attack, which you will be like basically all the way built up. So he can look really, really good. I've seen this unit hit, I think at his peak that I've had him hit is like around 22 million, like around 22 million. So I've been talking a lot, right? Obviously, I have a lot of thoughts about this Gohan, but this is the ultimate Gohan video. Obviously, after this, we're going to take a Gohan and Piccolo into all the events around the game, have a little bit of fun with them. But this is the one where I was going to basically rant and just talk about my experiences with this Gohan. I'm not just bitching or complaining. I have used this unit. I invested in this unit. Therefore, I'm telling you my experience with this unit. And though it is pretty fun, I like to bring them on certain things. It is so frustrating in game. Like, the idea of this Gohan is good, but in gameplay, it's so RNG based. It's just like, why? And then you play with Piccolo and you have the exact opposite experience. So it's just very confusing, very frustrating. I digress. Thank y'all for listening to me rant. We're going to go ahead and get into the event now. Let's go ahead and take on Furisa. See how many times Gohan can perform that additional attack and get that critical hit, and see if he can come in clutch for us. I appreciate y'all watching this. I'm Shinjitsu369. Let's take a look at Fraud Han, Clown Han, Ultimate Gohan.
Now it's my turn. I'm done playing games.
What an unexpected thrill!
Not done yet. Masenko! You can't win. Show you how much of a fight I can put up. I told you, I've come to kill you. Masenko!
勝てんぜお前は。本気で行くぞ。今度は僕の番だ。魔漢光殺法。